EYA, call your attorney for August. We got LP. We also got
Phil.
And Phil been drinking mimosas, y'all. So I'm snitching. Because I don't understand why my brother in Christ decided that he was going to drink mimosas today. Please explain before we get to our
better than
other...
this Jim Beam. I tell you that damn much, man. I'm not drinking that shit.
Before we get to our partners here,
yeah.
Brother Brian, how are you doing today? They say you look like and smell like money. So what's going on?
Apparently good things.
Paid your taxes yet?
I definitely paid off.
You ain't even supposed to talk yet.
Social Security. Not only that, I'll tell you, my child support I'm paid off in advance. I think almost 10 years.
Wow! Oh my gosh, lady! I think we've got a target.
Please introduce yourself again, Brian, our illustrious partner. Please.
Hey, this is Brian Crockett. I handle all cases throughout Texas. Also licensed in Illinois, Texas, Arizona, and California. If it's a personal injury case or you just have a question about a legal issue, not criminal, but something where we got damages, give us a call. We'll be able to help you out. You can look me up on Bank on Brian TX or email me at brian@crockett.law.
And am I allowed to sue my daughter for this foot injury that I've got? I know she is a resident of my home and also a dependent of mine, but this is the third injury that might require surgery from her. Is there a way that I can get damages from her?
That strap is on tight, too.
Yeah, bro, because it hurt.
The most important thing to remember whenever you're talking about, hey, can I get money from somebody, right? So as an attorney, you're looking at, first of all, does the person have an insurance policy?
Damn.
There is no insurance related to your daughter and injuring you. The second one, does she have money?
Damn.
And so assuming that she's not one of the Sanders kids.
She's not.
Then
yeah,
we're probably not going to be able to help you
She
out.
probably would prefer to be. That's why I think she beat me up. So, but yes, thank you, Brian. Please. And we also have, there's several names that we can give. The Beyonce of legal, the legal queen, the background check queen, Attorney Simone. Please introduce
Hey, y'all. I'm Attorney Simone, your legal bestie. Make sure you check out my website, SimoneRedwine.com, where you can buy my new ebook, which is called Background Checks 101, The Beginner's Guide to Finding Out Who the Heck You're Dealing With. Oh, yeah. And my YouTube channel is called Girl, Is That Legal? Where I break down celebrity legal cases, give my thoughts, and we just have a good old time, y'all.
So you running background checks on niggas?
Yes, I do.
Well, but what if the man changed his life, man?
So that's fine. That's great. Well, we will congratulate you. We will rub you on your back, and we will make you your favorite dinner.
But you might scare the woman. Scare the woman away from that man.
Well, no, like. People come to me when they have concerns. They don't come to me because everything is wonderful.
Okay. What if we've only done like a few strong arm robberies?
Yeah.
Just a few. See, that's between you and your woman. Y'all two can sit amongst yourselves and talk it out. You know, maybe she wants to know that and then she's going to do your prenup. This Wednesday, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., I do a new background check review, right? Damn. So I give someone a free background check. You can go to my YouTube channel, Girl, Is That Legal? There's a link there. You can apply, right? I review them. I want to know who, you have to give me your name, your info. And I want to know who is it you want to search and why. Child, this one coming up. Oh, it made my scalp itch. It's going to be really good.
How deep do you go? Like, do you go real deep?
One that I had, I think it was the week before. Yes. I had a woman a few weeks ago who called in because she met this guy. It was a whirlwind romance. Whenever you hear that, prepare to be scammed. And he wanted to move in with her. Okay. She had an adult kid. What are you laughing at? What is wrong with y'all? You can't take y'all nowhere.
It's definitely those mimosas.
Did you do drugs before today?
Why are you trying to incriminate us right now?
I know, I'm just saying, okay. No, the gist of it was this guy, he wanted to move in with her. It was a whirlwind romance. He said he had like 2 or 3 kids and that he was divorced. She had a daughter at home. So she was like, yeah, I just want a record check on him, before I let him move in with my teenage daughter. Cool. So first I confirmed like his kids, that he's divorced. He'd never been married, so that was good. So he wasn't actually divorced. But he didn't have the 2 or 3 kids. He had a minimum of 7 kids and owed over $100,000 in back child support. So he couldn't get a house. He had terrible credit. He also probably couldn't get an apartment, which is why he wanted to move in. And then most importantly, he had previously been charged with the R word. So it was like, yes. So literally by her knowing this, she was able to not only not allow him to move into her home, but break it off with him. And we found a safe way for her to do that.
Nah, that's good work, Simone.
Yeah.
I want to give you a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So, I did one. I also did one on Jennifer Williams' fiance. That was really interesting.
Save that one.
So we'll get to that.
We're gonna get to that. So the first thing we want to kind of talk about is remember that movie we talked about, Love in the Black?
That's crazy.
Divorce in the Black.
Oh, it was trash.
And there's a preacher in that movie who decided he was gonna bring a double-barrel shotgun to a house with 4 swole brothers who was ready for action.
That nigga got good hair, though.
He do got good, if it's not
that
a wig.
Is useless.
What you mean it's not useless?
Nah, niggas with good hair,
is
man.
useless. If you can't fight.
So in this, Tina Knowles, who was married to this brother, revealed that not only is he asking for $300,000, but also he's being awarded a variety of things in their divorce. So is it that the city boys are up, or is there something wrong in this case? Simone, we're going to throw it to you.
Sure. Okay, so Miss Tina Knowles, unfortunately, is getting divorced again. And as part of the settlement, basically, she got to keep her separate property. He got to keep hers. But she had to give him she's paying him $300,000. Now, mind you, he's supposed to be gainfully employed during this entire time. And I'm thinking to myself, see, this is exactly why I will have a prenup when I get married. Because I'm not paying you $300,000. It is cheaper to kill you. I will kill you.
Wait, hold on. Keep you, not kill.
Yeah.
We are not advocating for murders.
No, I'm gonna kill you because I will just have a funeral and we're just gonna cremate you and then I'm gonna flush you down the toilet. But if we have kids together, I'm gonna take some hookah ashes and put them in an urn so at least they feel like their daddy is with them. So I'm just saying. So I mean, man, I won't erase all memory of you, but you gotta go. Before I pay $300,000, you gotta go. Now here, it appears, though, that part of the reason she wanted to give him the money was in exchange for a non-disparagement and confidentiality clause. So specifically, their divorce agreement says that neither will talk bad about each other or their kids or their grandkids. So he can't talk about, like, if Blue Ivy was naughty. I don't think Blue Ivy was naughty, but that little boy, I don't know what his name is. Whatever his name is, he look like he bad. Yeah, he might be a little naughty. So he can't be like, oh, that little bad boy, I had to hit him with the spanking spoon. You know, he can't say any of that.
Spanking spoon? What is this, slavery?
You weren't raised with no spanking spoon?
Hell no.
I got one in my car.
What are you talking about?
I got one in my car right now. I use it for my little nieces.
So, Brian, any thoughts on settlements on divorce? Like, you know, he might be getting what is due to him, you know?
$300,000. They were only married from 2015 to 2023. But I'll
you
let
should
you
have
answer.
got more than that then.
Wait, and then let me tell you part of the reason why they divorced, but I'll let you answer first.
What do you think about settlements in divorce, Brian?
I think they're usually one-sided.
You would say that. Have you had a few of them?
Maybe. I got some experience. But what I would say, though, is the most important thing that you'd always need to consider when it comes to divorce settlements is make sure that you're tracking what you owned before so that you can take it back after.
Can you explain what's that rule? So a lot of people feel like, oh, if I have separate property, no one can touch it. But it's my understanding that if community property, meaning if y'all have a joint account where direct deposit is put in there and that account is used to pay the mortgage on your separate property, you could run into some issues. Do you some issues with that?
So the biggest thing that you got to remember is Texas being a community property state. A lot of different states are. Illinois not the same, but if you have community property and you're making money coming in, technically your spouse owns half the money coming in. So one thing to be mindful of is, for example, if you're in a relationship and one of the partners has a business and they're not paying themselves, that doesn't mean that you can get out of saying, oh, well, I've never made any money because I didn't get a profit. There, Texas helps protect you in the sense of saying, hey, you can't just hide your money or hide your assets or, commit fraud onto the community. But basically any money that you're making at the time you get married or after you get married is 50-50.
Damn.
No.
So $300,000, I mean, you got to think, where were they married at? Texas or California?
Gosh, well, there was that picture, right, where they were all in white, dressed like freed slaves. You remember what I'm talking about? They were all lined up. Real
They're in
nice,
Louisiana,
real
right?
pretty.
Oh, so
I
they
think
may have
that
got married in
was
Louisiana
Yeah, I think
then. Okay.
they got
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that was New Orleans.
They may have been on a plantation. You know, people do that.
Oh,
yeah, people do that. They have
I'm
those
not
weddings.
coming. Don't invite me.
They got married in Cali then. Okay.
That's the problem.
So,
Don't ever do that, guys.
That license in Cali then, he probably could have got more than 300,000.
Yes, he probably could have. But see, the question is, I don't know how she earns her money, right? So being Beyonce's mom in itself is not good. You can't be like, oh, okay, Beyonce gives her allowance, I get half. No. You can't do that. But my guess is perhaps, for example, she may own a portion of Sacred, the hair care line, probably.
Or a variety of the business.
Of the business. But check this out. So it's unclear exactly why they divorced, but the timing, the announcement of divorce correlated with, at the same time, people went and started looking up his tweets, Mr. Lawson, okay? Who's 77 years old. Mr. Lawson had all these nasty tweets,
y'all.
He
a freak. Yeah,
because he didn't realize we could see
he thought
his
it was
likes.
private. Yeah.
So I mean, he had all kind of butt stuff. He had big booty stuff. He had little booty stuff. He had big titty stuff. He had little titty stuff. It was all this stuff that was going on, and Miss Tina was just embarrassed. She said, "This is nasty."
Yeah, when his likes got exposed, he was like, "Damn,
Yeah, that was bad.
But niggas is freaks,
But
man.
we didn't know your likes was
At
getting exposed
77,
like
calm
that.
down.
Nah, why?
Like at least be good
I'm
at what
getting
you're
my
going to do.
last one out until I can't. I'm sorry.
But just don't embarrass me. That's my thing. This is why I got to kill you, because you can't embarrass me and cause me
But
to
this
pay
was
you
before
$300.
they got married, right?
No, it was during.
during.
So she filed divorce when those messages came out at the same time she was filing
She
for
should have
divorce.
stood beside him. That ain't that bad. He was on Twitter.
Tweet.
He was on Twitter.
He's just liking it, man.
Man, I bet. Let's pull up your Explorer
I
page
bet
right
it
now,
was
Phil.
stuff.
Hold
I
on,
bet
we
Miss
can hear
Tina
all
wasn't finna do
that.
that stuff.
Phil, let's pull up your
there's
Explorer page
there's
right now.
definitely There's definitely
stay
times
away
though
from my
where
shit.
you can accidentally like something.
We can hear
You
y'all in
maybe
the back.
did
It wasn't an accident. It was a whole bunch of nasty butt stuff. Get on that hair. I bet you Miss Tina wasn't finna do that.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I just feel like Miss Tina might just been more hidden where her freakiness. He was just public. He didn't
That's
mind.
what you're supposed to do. Keep it in the bedroom. Those are grandparents. I don't want to know about my grandparents doing it and what they do.
Nah, no matter
Nasty.
how old you are, you freaky, man.
Oh, so you're saying you're freaky?
Speak for yourself.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh,
But
speaking of,
most people are though. Everybody in here is freaky, man. They just came from church. They freaky.
they laughed. That laugh said yes.
Yeah, there you go. Everybody in here.
I think I'm probably the only person who's not freaky in here.
Oh, please. You have a wife and you
You
have
are-
kids. There's evidence of your freakery.
Twice.
You in the
Two
fret.
times.
What's your fret?
You asking a lot of questions.
Yeah,
right
there
now.
you go.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
now,
That
I know you.
I
freaky.
mean-
Actually, part of why I'm celebrating I'm drinking alcohol today is Friday I took a pregnancy test. It came up positive. But then
Wait, hold on. And we can hear y'all in the back too. Please.
Hey,
Go ahead.
please.
Go ahead.
No, Friday I took a pregnancy test. It came up positive, and today I took one and it came up negative. So we celebrating, and I'm drinking. That's right.
All right, well, cheers to
All right,
that.
cheers. Thank you.
Thank you. You want some too? You want some drink? No,
I've
guys,
got
I'm
some.
harvesting my eggs. I'm not quiet about that. So I'm
Cheers to our Social Security numbers also being stolen.
Woo! Gone.
I'm hoping there's a way for us to win on that. What can we do?
So what
to win on that?
happened? What happened? Like, how did they,
With my eggs?
No,
no.
Listen, I don't even like eggs, folks.
Me
Like,
either. They look like brains and they smell like farts.
And you're the legal bestie? Like, I mean, what happened? Where did this come from? Like,
Let's talk about the Social Security number.
okay, so what happened?
Yeah,
what should we be doing?
So what happened was foreign entities, some foreign hackers, they hacked both the United States, the UK, and another country's systems that housed all of our Social Security numbers. It was the National Bureau of something or another that is used for background checks, actually. They hacked it. They got all the Social Security numbers, and they tried to hold them for ransom. Apparently, the governments were not paying for them, so they just kept them all. They've got them all. So here's what you have to do to protect yourself. Each of the credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, have a way where you can go online and you can hit a button that simply says freeze my account. That's what you want to do. By doing that, if anyone tries to open up credit in your name, you're going to get an alert and they're going to get declined. You can always unfreeze it. So, for example, I made a FEMA claim and they needed to pull my credit and they said, oh, your credit report is locked. Please unlock it. So I unlocked it and then you can relock it. So it's free. Make sure you do it with all three bureaus.
Now, why won't they like clear our debt, though. I hope whoever these hackers are, why haven't they figured out a way to make sure that we all got zero balances on everything we owe? That's what I would encourage.
That would be beautiful.
They're pagans. They're pagans. That's what we really need. I just feel like there's some good African scammers out there that can do that. But I think they're my favorite kind.
The Nigerians are not the best scammers, though.
What about the Ghanaians?
They're pretty good.
They're so smart. I went through an African phase because I really like men who were good in STEM. I wanted a STEM baby. And baby, that was all I got. I used to date a lot of them from UT Austin. It had a lot of Kappas. In fact, those were the Eritreans. They called it the Amistad crew. Anyway,
what?
My point is,
I've never seen this. Wait. No, Eritreans typically are not Amistad build.
No, not build, but I mean they just call it that because I guess they were all like
all from one place.
Yeah, from one. Give us free. Yeah, but I'm telling you, those guys are so smart.
You're gonna be canceled.
But I like them. You can say racist stuff if it's positive.
No, you cannot. That is not how this works. What are you talking about?
If anyone has an African brother, uncle, whatever, I am starting a page on Seeking Arrangements to help me pay for my egg freezing.
That's a place?
SeekingArrangements.com. It's where you literally seek arrangements. So someone's going to pay me for my time. I'm not selling my buttercup, but what I am selling is opportunity. Stay with me. Like, I do corporate events. So Christmas parties, weddings, company conferences where you need to bring someone beautiful. I won't do it to you, but I will do things for you as far as I will go to the company event. I'm Ivy League degree. I can say funny jokes on an intellectual level. This is really good for men with Asperger's, by the way. I am so open to you guys.
Asperger's?
They love me. They love me.
Brian, what are your thoughts on these Seeking Arrangements? Is there anything? Corporate events, bringing someone on your arm. What are your thoughts there, sir?
I mean, didn't Kevin Hart have a movie about that?
I can't remember that, did he?
What is it called?
Like that. But no, I think it's great in the sense.
Thank you.
But it should be like the first 100 or like a discount.
$100?
No, 100 like dates.
People, no. Listen, I need 35,000.
You need some reviews, though.
All right, well, I'll discount. Okay, so I'll do 500 for the first date.
The first one needs to be free.
No, I cannot do a free date. No, absolutely not.
Nobody knows.
I've got to raise $35,000 in a few months. These eggs aren't going to freeze themselves. Seriously, I don't have a lot of time. The older I get, the more spoiled they are.
Now, are you going to be having any 1099 assistance?
I will 1099 the fuck out of you. Let me tell you something. I am the cutest tax deduction you will ever meet. Trust me. I'll give you the paperwork. Tax deduction. Yeah, I'm a lawyer. We're going to talk business.
Because I was actually talking to Phil, and he said he was actually potentially open.
Man, I hung up on you.
Just think about it, guys. I'll make a link to my profile and put it in the comments.
You might see like a cougar that needs somebody, and she wants to take Phil with her.
We're going to share this information. Someone might be interested. So Brian, what should we be doing? We got the recourse or the resource from Simone, Social Security. Is there anything else that we should be doing to protect ourselves if our Social Security, our information gets leaked?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say the other thing is make sure you pull your credit report, look and see if there's anything on there that is news to you. And it's also very helpful if you are going to go through a divorce and see if maybe they've opened things in your name.
Oh, genius. Oh, I'm so sorry. But genius. But also, guys, this is a really good time. Actually, now that I'm saying, if you got anything new on your credit report, even some shit you did, maybe you could be like, hey, the hackers put that on there. Give it a try. Let's see if it works. Let me know.
So if there is anything new, though, one of the other big things you need to do is you can actually dispute what that credit information is, even if it's things that are from the past where it's just sitting there for a long time and it actually isn't an actual representation of your credit line. You can go in on Experian or TransUnion, and you can actually click a button on it saying you're disputing it, and they have a certain deadline or timeline that they need to respond back to you.
That's true.
Fair. Okay, we got some game there. All right, so the hurricane. I've spent thousands repairing things. Also, even in the studio, we had some damage. I'm saying that we did.
Yes, absolutely. You did.
We had some damage in here. Thank you so much to the city of Houston for supporting the studio or helping us repair our damages. But Brian, there's been other people who've had more challenges as we've came out the hurricanes. What thoughts do you have there, sir? I know there's been a lot going on.
All right, so the biggest thing about it is we're starting to get some of the actual claim decision letters back. So everybody always has a question about the decision is, insurance companies are in the business of underpaying claims. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you're getting your letter in. The very first question we often hear is, hey, what they sent me a check. Am I able to cash the check? What you need to know is there's two things about that. Is it a disputed claim, meaning they wrote you and told you, hey, we don't think that this is a claim that we're responsible for? If they send you a check with that, they're going to send it with a release. If you sign that release, you cash that check, your case is over. If it is an undisputed claim, they're saying, hey, we believe this is part of the coverage, but they've undervalued what your damages are, you can cash that check.
Ooh.
The other aspect that you got to remember is most people see that check come in and it has their mortgage company on it. And they won't issue the check without your mortgage company being on it if you don't own the home outright.
God damn it.
So what most people ask the next question, which is, okay, how do I cash the check? Your mortgage company generally will not release or sign a release that you can cash the check unless that money that you're using is going to be to do an actual repair. And so when we're talking about actual repair, some people will try to present the mortgage company an actual estimate. The estimate in and of itself is not enough for the mortgage company to say, okay, hey, that's great. They're probably not going to sign the check. You're probably not going to be able to cash it. What they generally will always do, though, is if you have a written contract with an actual repair company that they're going to do the work and the money is actually going to go towards fixing the house, then they're more likely the mortgage company will sign it. If you do go to a law firm, most law firms will be able to actually assist with that process and talking with the mortgage company to make that happen. The other aspect that I wanted to highlight, though, is during this time when you get that check coming in, you've got to make sure that you have two duties. All right. You've got to prevent further damage to the property, and you have to do what you can within reason to protect the property. All right. So ultimately, let's say that you have shingles or a hole in your roof. You do have to go and put a tarp on your roof. You do have to do what you can to prevent further damage.
Yeah.
But if you have something, when I say within reason, if you have a concrete roof and it's, hundreds of thousands of dollars because you can't just put a tarp over it, there's no expectation that you're going to cover that. Okay. But you do have to do what is reasonable in order to prevent further damage to your property. If you don't, and then further damage happens, they're not responsible for that, meaning the insurance company. So last part I just want to mention with the hurricane, remember the adjusters are going to be defensive on anything when they're talking to you. Everything you're saying is being recorded. You're going to hear information kind of lingo that is defensive, meaning they say things like wind-driven rain. They'll say flooding is what's causing your damage. And they'll try to get you to use that same language. What you got to remember, though, is the only coverage outside of flood insurance for the damage relating to the hurricane is going to be that the storm created an opening in your home, allowing the water to get in, and then that causing damage. So they're going to try to get you to say anything and everything, but the damage from the hurricane created an opening in your home and caused the damage. So you've got to make sure that you realize whatever you're telling them, the storm caused an opening. So maybe it damaged the door seals, it damaged the roof shingles, and then that opening allowed water to get in. If you say wind-driven rain allowed it in, there is absolutely no coverage for that.
It just sounds like they trying not to pay people.
Yeah,
It is. Now, are you accepting certain types of claims related to Beryl?
Yeah, so if anybody has any questions about those claims, you can reach out to us, Bank on Bryant TX, and we can be able to help you with that.
Because it sounds like talking to an insurance adjuster is like talking to the cops.
Exactly.
Don't you do it without your lawyer.
Yep.
Right. No, it's 100% that way. Remember, the insurance company spends millions of dollars training their people on defending liability. And so they're going to get you to actually use the words like wind-driven rain. If the force of the wind is blowing water into your house, that's not covered. So they're going to use your own words against you. And I also want to mention that if you are getting your claim decision back and no one's going to be happy with it, all right, that doesn't mean that you don't have the opportunity to continue to say, hey, I think you should come back out and reinspect, or hey, here's the damage. Don't ever say, or don't write down or tell them in an email, I'm going to get an attorney, I'm going to sue you. All right? Because all of that is evidence against you. They're going to get to show it to the jury. And then everything that happens after that point, they're going to say, oh, this is just attorney driven. Okay. So you want to be as nice as possible. You want to make sure you're telling the insurance company, hey, I think that this isn't a fair estimate. I'd like you to come out and reevaluate it. You want to be the one who is overly fair, because if you go to the actual trial, you want the jury to look at it and go, this person was very cordial and very nice. And then the insurance company is the one who is refusing to pay.
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite if you said, hey, hey, you're an a-hole, F you, I'm going to get an attorney. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. They're going to turn around and go, okay, I wouldn't want to talk with you either.
Yeah. We got to release this tomorrow. People need to hear this, man.
Yeah,
because people dealing with all kind of
I didn't even file an insurance claim for my crib because of how they was acting.
Or the deductibles are wild, y'all. Yeah. So something I never experienced, I'm from Dallas. Something I never experienced until I came here in Houston is that, first of all, my mortgage went up some crazy because they doubled my property insurance from last year. Not because I had any claims, but because of the claims in my zip code. So that was wild. But now there is one deductible if it's certain things, like let's say a fire. It's a higher deductible. So the fire one might be 1%. It's a higher deductible if it's a storm, which might be wind and hail, which is like 5%. But then if it's something that was deemed a national disaster, it's even higher. It's like a $30,000, which I think is like a 10% deductible, which was wild. So interestingly, we got Shawnee and her husband, Pastor Moneybags. Oh, Keon. Okay. Yeah. Pastor Moneybags, Keon, is up here, y'all. He said, Jesus told me to tell y'all I need $4 million. Yeah. He's saying
from the church
to repair the church properties as it relates to Barrow. And my first thought was, first of all, Jesus didn't tell you that. Your accountant might have told you that. The devil might have told you. He could have told you. But what was odd to me is what I know for a fact, his deductible ain't no $4 million, unless he's saying his whole property is worth $40 million, which I've been to it before, and I don't think that's the case.
I mean, but this $4 million might make it worth 40. That's the way he can do these upgrades.
That's what it would be. But so when you hear those claims, what I just want you to know is, like, if you're fundraising, then what should be fundraised for is the deductible. Yeah. Because once that kicks in, everything else is covered by the policy.
It's paid for. Yeah. Yeah. So, hurricane been putting people out. People still got fences down, roofs off.
Fences is the number one thing.
Fence. One final tip on that, and this is actually something I did myself, is that if you do have a high deductible, you can use your retirement account. Like I have an E-Trade account and stuff like that. If it has been deemed a national disaster, you are actually able to tap into your retirement account
with no penalty.
Pull out money with no penalty. Yeah. So it has to be within, like, I think 90 days of it being deemed a disaster. But if you need to do that, go ahead and do it. You don't have to show proof that you've used it for your roof, for your whatever. You could have literally used that, like when the power was out, to get hotel rooms, to get to this, to get to that. But yes, that's an option.
No doubt. So, all right, last one we got. Basketball wives. There's some drama. We know this is your lane. So what's going on with the Basketball Wives?
All right. So Jennifer Williams, she was the one on Basketball Wives who dated the man with the big old knot on his head.
Eric Williams. He played for Boston Celtics. Yeah.
He could hoop too for a little while.
He had that knot. That big old knot on his noggin. Okay. Well, she has a new fiance. Jennifer is 48 or 49. Her fiance is 31. He's a good-looking little somebody.
She's sexy, though, Jennifer.
She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. She looks great for her age, for my age, for any of the ages. Yeah. But she's engaged to him. And on the show, he had explained to her they're planning this beautiful wedding in Paris, September 14th. Okay. And on the show, he explains to her, she knows he was a felon. He served 7 years in prison for a domestic violence related incident. She's fine with that. That's her business.
See, Phil, some women will look past that.
Right. But on the show, he says to her, hey, look, I got restitution. And until I take care of it, we can't move freely, because I'm under probation. So she said, well, how much is it? He said $250,000. I said, damn. That's a lot of restitution. And it just so happened to be the same amount as the cost of the wedding. So I'm nosy. I like to mind other people's business. So I went and I pulled up the court records. Lo and behold, that restitution went on $250,000. It was $12,500. So I was like, is he scamming her? So I digged a little further. And I was like, well, how does he make this money? So he is a day trader. He's a felon day trader that also will invest your money for you. I know you work in those. And he has promised you 5 to 8% returns per week.
Oh, he running a Ponzi scheme.
That's what I said, a straight Ponzi scheme. So he's got the Ponzi scheme going, and so some victims have reached out to me. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
They've reached out to me. So that's one thing. But the real tea was this week, there was a warrant issued for his arrest. There was a warrant issued. So remember I said, this sounds crazy, the restitution, the this, the that. And so many people on my channel, Girl Is That Legal, where I've broken this down, they were like, well, he's already been to Paris and they've already been to Italy. I said, oh, well, then he must have paid his restitution. You have to do that to leave. No, here's the text from the order. Here's the text from the order, y'all. This is the order for the arrest warrant. It states, this is the reason, it says, the probation officer says, on or about July 18th, the defendant left the state of Georgia without permission and traveled to California on July 18th. It also says the defendant is engaged to Jennifer Williams from Basketball Wives. Miss Williams posted her and the defendant in California on her social media. Miss Williams has other posts on her social media page that indicate her and the defendant have been to Switzerland on or about the 6th and Italy on or about the 7th. The defendant did not have permission. So on July 22nd, the supervising officer called him on the phone, contacted him to inquire if he left the state or the country, in which he reported he had not.
I mean, he shouldn't have lied. They got your passport.
They got your pictures.
That's pretty.
Passport number one.
My question is for you, Simone.
Ma'am, sir.
What made you dig that deep into these people?
I don't want Jennifer to end up like I almost did. I come from personal experience where I almost married someone that was trying to scam me. Like next weekend would have been our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So I personally, I just want to put the information out there and she can do what she wants. Because I just do not believe at her big age, she would have been traveling internationally with someone and posting the photos on her page if she thought it was going to revoke his probation and send him back to prison for 1.5 years. I just don't think she would do that if she had known. What y'all think?
I mean, I think she probably knew. I think sometimes people just don't think they're going to suffer any consequences of the actions. Because if you went out of the country one time and nothing happened, that just makes it a lot easier to do it multiple times. So I just think they didn't think anything was going to happen.
And so for the legal advice on this, don't go to social media and post anything if you've got any pending charges or pending cases involved, because everything you do can be used against you.
Even social media?
Especially.
They would be all right if it wasn't for Simone. Looking at this shit.
Yeah, I think, as a matter of fact, you the one. Why are you digging so deep?
I didn't do that. No, but I also, this was not me. I don't think it was me. Because I'm looking, the dates of their travel were prior to me doing my first deep dive, right? So it was 2 days prior than my deep dive aired. But also, I believe that she may not have known, because if she actually gave him the $250,000, because that episode, it aired like 2 weeks ago, which meant it happened many months ago. So if she actually gave him the $250,000, she probably thought it was to actually pay the restitution, in which case he would have been able to travel and do all this no problem.
And if she gave it to him, that's where some of those investment gains came from.
No, that was the other thing. I was like, the Ponzi scheme makes sense to support her lifestyle.
Allegedly.
But we also have to remember, she's not the best with guys, because she had the guy with the knot on his head, Eric Williams. He threw the drink on her face. So she threw some at him first. And then second, she dated Tim Norman, the murderer.
Yeah.
He liked to murder people. Huh? Yes, from Welcome to Sweetie Pies. He murdered his nephew for the $1 million life insurance policy. Kid you not.
She's got a type.
She's got a type.
A criminal.
And then after that, she literally had a television show called My True Life Scam Story, where she talked about being scammed out of a Range Rover and some money and stuff from her second boyfriend. So this third one, at least he didn't murder anybody, I guess.
Man, I need to meet her. I need $250,000. Yeah, Phil.
Giving niggas
you get $250,000. We need to do that.
I did no type of. All
right, so Brian, any cases, anything we need to look out for before we wrap? Something that maybe you've seen that's been happening more frequently, coming into your office more frequently?
Yeah, so one of the biggest things, even though we've been talking about the hurricane cases, when I first started out practicing here in Houston, we handled a lot of defense cases for the insurance companies. And what I can tell you is, when you're doing these property damage cases, or you're trying to document your damages, the most important thing that you can do is, one, log it all, put it into an actual spreadsheet Excel, put down what the item is, when it was purchased, and then the actual reasonable value for what that item is today. So, I mean, if you go on Amazon and you could say, hey, how much is it to buy it if it was used or not? I actually was defending a case where the insurance company was being sued, where they were saying, hey, we've lost all of this property. They did all the right things in the sense of they created a log, they took photographs, but then they exaggerated the value of every single thing. And I jokingly could tell you that they had a leather fanny pack they put down was like $800.
Damn.
Wasn't designer. It certainly, when the picture of it, you could say this wasn't anything special. But literally, they invented the values that were just outrageous. And the problem is that when you get this evidence in front of the jury, they're going to be able to say you tried to scam here, you tried to scam here, you tried to scam here, and you lose all credibility. And so the most important thing that I would say is, and this is a case that involved a home where the pipe was damaged in the apartment complex. The pipe water damage then caused the floor below to completely flood, which was their property. So that's also a different type of insurance claim. You can actually make a claim against the homeowners association as well as your own renter's insurance. But in that claim, their entire house flooded, right? So whenever they talk about don't play with the water
the
system,
sprinklers,
it literally put almost like 3 feet of standing water in their place. Then when they tried to turn it off, the entire building was actually rusted. The shutoff valve was rusted, so the fire department couldn't turn it off. And so it just continued to just destroy everything. They tried to make a claim for all of these items, even items that they couldn't show proof of. And then it really just started to escalate from there, that their credibility of, well, we bought this and we bought this and we bought this. And they had no photographs, so that they couldn't produce any receipts. And then ultimately the values didn't even match with what was reasonable. So the highlighting point on it is, if you have a reasonable number and you're not looking like you exaggerate it, the insurance company generally will pay, especially if you get an attorney, they'll pay. But if you exaggerate it before you get an attorney, even your attorney cannot mesmerize a jury to say that you're not trying to scam or take advantage of a situation.
Man, it's tough out there. I need to do some insurance fraud, though, like real soon. What can we break?
No.
Other than my foot. We need to do something in here. So, but that is, anything else before we wrap?
Any updates on the YSL?
No, she said she ain't got it all. Yeah, she said she ain't got it all.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Because Lil Woody is highly entertaining.
Oh,
I've been checking in with him and what he been saying.
Yeah, and I still got a pregnant lady bladder, so I'm gonna have to go in a minute.
Yeah, so we held the YSL today. So since Simone found out she was 3 weeks pregnant before this,
3 days,
sipping mimosa with a false positive. That baby ain't gonna make it. That's what it is. So, but this is the CYA for August, and we out.
We out.